The room was filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the faint scent of expensive perfume. I had planned this moment perfectly, or so I thought. Surrounded by our friends, colleagues, and even a few distant relatives I barely knew, I leaned forward on the velvet dining chair, my laughter dripping with mockery, and said the words I had been holding back for months. Honestly, I think I need a new husband. Someone who actually understands me. The laughter erupted instantly. I could see some of them nodding, others smirking, and a few exchanging awkward glances. I felt powerful, untouchable, like a queen standing over a defeated king. But I didn't notice his eyes, calm and cold, settling on me like a predator circling its prey. For a fraction of a second, everything stopped. The music seemed to fade, the laughter dimmed, and I finally looked directly at him. His face was a mask of icy composure, but his eyes were deadly calm, and I realized that I had crossed a line I didn't even know existed. He leaned back in his chair, slowly, deliberately, as if savoring my humiliation. The entire room seemed to shrink, the air thick with anticipation. My words had been meant to sting, to make him squirm, but instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous. "Is that what you really think?" he said softly, almost a whisper. The room froze. No one moved. Not even the waiters hovering near the table dared to take a step. His voice had a weight to it, a chilling calm that made everyone sit up straighter. "Yes," I replied, trying to maintain my bravado, but a tiny tremor in my voice betrayed me. "I think maybe I deserve someone better." A faint smile crept across his lips, one that didn't reach his eyes. "Someone better," he repeated, letting the words linger in the air, slicing through the tension like a knife. "Do you really want to see what that looks like?" My laughter died instantly. There was no malice in his tone, no anger, just an icy precision, a calculated calm that made the blood drain from my face. I felt every eye on us, every whisper, every unspoken question. My heart thumped so violently I thought it would burst through my chest. He stood up slowly, the chair scraping lightly against the marble floor, and walked toward the edge of the balcony that overlooked the city. The moonlight caught his profile, sharp and almost unearthly. "You've played a dangerous game tonight," he said. "But don't worry. I'll show you exactly what you're risking." Panic surged through me. The laughter and mockery that had once filled me with power evaporated, leaving only a hollow, sinking fear. I wanted to speak, to apologize, but the words refused to form. Then, without warning, the lights dimmed. The room plunged into semi-darkness, and I felt a whisper of a plan unfold, a plan I hadn't anticipated. A subtle vibration in the floor, a soft click from the hallway, the way everyone seemed frozen in suspense. It was orchestrated, precise. He had done this before, I realized. This wasn't a reaction, it was a performance, and I was the target. Suddenly, the screen behind us flickered on, showing live footage from the cameras he had installed months ago in every corner of our apartment, and even in the areas I had assumed were private. My laughter, my mockery, the countless moments of casual contempt, every message, every secret I thought was hidden, all displayed for the room to see. My blood ran cold. Gasps filled the room. My friends recoiled, some in shock, some in disbelief. I tried to speak, to explain, but the weight of exposure pinned me in place. He turned to me, his gaze unwavering, and said, "You wanted someone better? Look at yourself in front of everyone, and see the truth of what you've become." Tears blurred my vision, but not from sorrow. Fear, humiliation, and the chilling realization of how meticulously he had planned this storm tore through me. I had thought I was the one in control, mocking him in front of everyone. But he had turned the tables so completely, so flawlessly, that I was now utterly powerless. He walked back to the table, calm and composed, every step deliberate, each one a statement of dominance. "Let this be the last time you ever question me in public," he said. "Because if you think tonight was painful, you haven't seen anything yet." I could hear my own heartbeat, frantic and deafening, as the reality sank in. Every friend I thought was on my side looked at me differently, the laughter that once fueled me now replaced with silent judgment. I had become a spectacle, the centerpiece of my own undoing. He took his seat, straightened his jacket, and finally smiled, a cold, satisfied smile that I would never forget. The room slowly returned to its normal rhythm, but the damage was done. I had underestimated him, mocked him, and now I was left facing a storm I had no way to control. As the party continued, I sat frozen, humiliated, and terrified. He didn't raise his voice, he didn't yell, he didn't need to. His silence, his calculated coldness, had obliterated me completely. The storm he had unleashed was not one of words, but of power, precision, and a terrifying calm that left me shattered. And in that moment, I realized something even more terrifying. The game had only just begun. He was patient, strategic, and unrelenting, and I was now trapped in a world where every misstep, every careless word, would be exploited. I had mocked my husband in front of everyone, thinking I was untouchable. But the truth was far darker, far colder, and far more calculated than I could have ever imagined. By the end of the night, the room emptied, leaving only the echo of my shame and the haunting calm of his victory. He didn't need to say anything else. The storm he had set in motion would follow me, haunting every thought, every memory, for the rest of my life. And the worst part? I had no one to blame but myself.